Hey everybody, it's Lottie here, and this is my top 5 spring seasonal favourites to give you instant colour and beauty right now in beautiful, wonderful springtime. So let's have a look. So kicking off, we have the gorgeous Ranunculus. I found these beautiful sunset colours in my local nursery, but they come in all sorts of colours: red, white, pink and green mixture, purples, deep pinks, beautiful shades, and they are stunning. They're such a romantic flower. They're not fully frost hardy, so really you can buy them quite early from the garden centres, but keep them inside to protect the blooms. And then as soon as the bad frost, or we're sort of above zero, then you can look at planting these out. But you can see these are going to be flowering for a few weeks. From we're now mid-April, so, and into May, there's some buds coming, and you can usually pick them up for the next few weeks in garden centres and nurseries. You can grow them yourself from corms. They are a bit of a challenge, so if you're a beginner or you're a bit lazy like me and you just want the impact, you can buy them like this in the garden centre, usually in April and beginning of May. So that is number 1, Ranunculus. Then number 2, we have Grape Hyacinth Mascari, and this one is called Ocean Magic. What a beautiful name. Now Mascari you'll normally see growing quite well in a lot of places. You tend to find it in clumps. It can take over the older, sort of the more traditional varieties, which are really deep blue, but these ones that have sort of come on a bit and have been bred out don't tend to take over as much, but they will still give a bit of ground cover, and they will still spread ever so slightly in comparison to the other more traditional variety. And they are stunning. They're beautiful. You can separate them. Of course you can pull them up if they do get too much in your garden and spread them out, or just keep the clumps you want. But I do like these varieties that have been bred or selected for their colours, because they are just stunning, and you can really see the colours of the ocean. It does match its name, and these are great. They're perfectly hardy outside. If there's a bit of frost or snow, the blooms won't really matter. You can deadhead them and it will encourage them just to bloom a little bit longer. You can certainly see they're throwing up new shoots whilst the older shoots are coming into fruition, and they look really good either in a border, straight direct into a border alpine garden, or I like to put them in containers for this time of the year for that seasonal pop of colour, and then when they're finished we put the bulbs into the borders or leave them in the container and they'll come up next year. It's a lovely value for money plant, and this one is particularly pretty with that colouring. But you can also get these in white. I think, if I'm right in thinking, there's a slight pinky one, purpley pinky one as well, and also lots of different tones of blue, but this is my particular favourite at the moment. And number 3, I always come back to this one because I just love the dainty, delicate little flowers that just come in abundance. And you'll see these in the garden centres way earlier, really, than they should be going outside. But they're such good instant colour, even for inside, before you can put them outside and the frost will calm down a bit. These will tolerate a little bit of frost, so that's fine to put them outside a little bit earlier if you want to. So they'll be okay down to about -5 until your blooms will be affected by that. But you can see the abundance here. They're coming out, and then they've got buds to come, and then underneath they've got flower shoots coming up even there. So this is going to last for a long time through the spring, so way into early May, maybe a bit longer if they're not brought on as much when you buy them. And they can come back every year. They can be a little bit fussy, especially if they get too wet, but they have been known to come back if you've got a drier spot and really well drained area, like an alpine garden or something like that, rather than just keeping them in a container where they can get airflow through. So they will last you a few years if they get happy in the position they're in. But for the price, this one, so we're in 2023, and this cost me, I think, £2.49 max. So nice bit of colour for this spring, and I will plant it into the garden after I've used it in my container, and then if it comes back, great for next year. But they also come in whites, and also white with a bit of green in the middle, also lighter pinks with a bit of a deeper pink edge. So there's some really lovely colours available in Saxifrage. Do keep a look out. Like I say, this is fantastic seasonal colour to give you impact now for your garden, and also give you some good return for your money. Lots of buds to come as well as colour right now. And that is our number 3, a saxifrage. Oh, and this particular one is called Marto Hot Rose, which you can see is a very hot pink. Beautiful. Right, now on to number 4 is Viola. So I put these in for autumn colour as well. And then they tend to have a little of a lull period, sort of late December, January, with the bad weather that we have, and then they come back to life in the spring. But then you can continue to buy them fresh, which these are, in the spring as well, because now there are so many different colours of the bedding Viola. You can see there's some more in the background, a lovely lilac-y mauve with a beautiful white centre, and the detail in the centre is just gorgeous. And then this one's much darker, nice purples and deep tones. So many different colours available. I mean, yellows, reds, whites, creams, tones of blue, all sorts, and they just give so much flower power. And again, these are very good. So if we have any late snow in the April, which can happen, and frost, they will bounce back and keep on giving you flowers. The trick is with these beauties, the more you deadhead them, so when their flowers are finished or looking a bit ropey, deadhead them as close as you can to the bush, the main part of the bush or the main part of the plant, and you'll see that will just encourage new blooms to come through and keep on flowering for as long as they are happy in your container or in your garden. And it's also, by doing that, actually prevents them from getting too leggy as well. You can see that one's going to seed, so I'll take that one off before I plant it out, and that'll just encourage it to keep on flowering and keep them nice and compact and healthy. But they're gorgeous, so nice. So good spring colour and autumn colour and winter colour. But right now these are nice and fresh, and they're going to go in our spring container. And here we are at number 5. This is my ultimate favourite for spring, and particularly around Easter, which it is Easter weekend coming up right now for me here. So this is Narcissus Bridal Crown. I cannot get enough. I actually bought these particular ones from a nursery that were on offer because, as I did last year and the year before, I buy them on offer, put them in the garden, and then I can enjoy them the following year. They do really well in most soils. They're not too fussy, as long as it's well drained and not completely sodden with water. They are fantastic. You can grow them indoors and force them over the winter period and have them flowering for December and January. Or you can plant them in the garden, like I say, and buy them now for a lovely spring colour outside. And these are tough and hardy. They've just survived a bit of snowy, frosty weather we've had, well, hailstones rather than snow, and they're still looking fine and beautiful, and the smell is just glorious. And they actually remind me, the centres, of a cream egg, because you've got that white and then the yolky yellow in the middle of those double blooms. And again, they're such good flower power, so you've got gorgeous doubles coming out now. And then underneath, whilst they're working hard and looking gorgeous, you've got buds to come and follow. And that one's even more behind. So you've got a good 3 to 4 weeks, maybe 3. It depends on the weather. If it gets too hot, they do tend to run out of steam quite quickly. But if it stays nice and cool and damp, they'll give 3 to 4 weeks of colour yet to come. So they are stunning. Highly recommend buying them. If you're doing a lovely seasonal display like I'm just about to now, then buy them with a bit of flower, but make sure they've got plenty of bud on to give you that longevity. And then, of course, like with everything in this, I like to buy plants if I can, or flowering bulbs for seasonal colour, because then I can plant them in the garden and then they'll come back the following year. It's all about value for money for me. And they are just striking. I wish you could smell them, because they are just beautiful, and that's what they're mostly well known for, the bridal crown, is their smell. But of course, those glorious double blooms. And now we're just about to have a little rain shower, so I will leave the video here, and I hope you enjoyed my top 5 seasonal colourful blooms for your containers, hanging baskets and borders for your April and May garden instant impact colour. Thank you guys, I'll see you next time. And here are a few ideas on what to do with these beautiful blooms. Lovely low terracotta bowl Ranunculus in the middle as a statement piece, and then your beautiful fillers of viola around the outside. Gorgeous. And then a little hand basket, perfect for Easter prezzies, spring gifts, spring colour for the garden, with Mascari and viola again. And I put in, just a little tip, I put in a slow release fertiliser with my peat-free and organic compost, just to give the plants a little boost. I also put a liner in the baskets and a handful of gravel for drainage and reservoir water holding purposes. And again, that's a bigger basket filled with the saxifrage and the lovely Mascari there. That gorgeous deep orange ranunculus. And then violas to fill. Don't they look beautiful for springtime colour? And there's the bridal crown in the background. Looking stunning. Sorry about the camera, guys, it's just started raining, so the light's changing quickly. There you go, beautiful. Nice bit of quick impact spring colour with my top 5 seasonal, springtime and Easter plants.